Have you ever had your heart broken so badly that it literally feels like all the colors just drain right out of your life? Me too. In this video, I'm going to show you how I have transformed my pain and heartbreak into something beautiful, and how you can take this process and use it to release your own pain and rediscover yourself. Throughout my painting and learning, healing journey, I have poured on so many things, from canvases to wooden crosses, tiles, glass jars, literally whatever I can get my hands on. No joke. I've loved everything, whatever I can paint on. I'm gonna try it. Sometimes it doesn't work, and that's all right. But one of the biggest things that I think it's helped me realize is how much it's helped me process emotions that at a time I couldn't even put words to. Like, I remember being in so much pain, emotional pain and heartbreak at one point that I didn't even know how I was feeling. Now that I reflect back on it, I can see there were times where I was totally numb, times where I felt like someone was ripping my heart into a million pieces, stabbing me in my gut. It felt like someone was sitting on my chest. Like, oh my goodness, so many things. And I am so grateful that I have found painting, because it has helped me so much. And I can imagine that if you found this video, that you were probably in a similar position, and that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help and to guide you. And if you don't have the time, the money, the supplies to do a fluid painting with me, click the link down below, because I do have some free printable coloring sheets that I drew, which was so much fun for me, guys. I'm not even kidding. And I know you might be thinking, like, I'm not 5 years old. I'm not coloring. Who colors? I do. It's seriously so much fun. And not only that, it is a great way to get your creativity opened up, to get you out of your mind and into your body, and to maybe get you off your phone for a little bit, which, let's be honest, it never hurt anybody to get off their phone for a little bit. We're on our phones so much now. You're on your phone right now watching this video, and that's okay, but click the link down below. Get my free coloring sheets. Seriously, they're free. You can get doing something, and it'll be fun. Because I'm telling you right now, guys, art it's not just as simple as, it's just art, or it's just putting paint on a canvas. I mean, it is as simple as putting paint on a canvas, but it's much deeper than that. It is literally healing. It is therapy in another form. So if you're looking to find a creative outlet, keep watching my video, because I am going to go into some more details, and I'm going to do a little mini painting process, so stay tuned. So before we get into the painting part of the video, I did have a couple points that I wanted to talk about. One of them being how painting, and I have kind of already mentioned this, that painting allows you to release emotions that are stuck in your body and get them out without needing to use words. You are able to paint and release those stuck emotions, because I don't know if you know this, but heartbreak, among many other things, can cause you to have trapped emotions in your body, which can turn into so many things. It can turn into illness, autoimmune diseases, there's a multitude of things. I was just reading an article, and it was talking about how all of these trapped emotions in your body can cause different sensations. If you're feeling angry, you might feel it in your head or your chest. If you're sad, it might be in your throat, also your chest. Anxiety is in your chest and your gut. There's so many different feelings, and they store themselves in different areas of your body, but the point is to get them out, to release these emotions. And if you don't have access to a therapist, which I still would recommend, if you feel like you need that, definitely seek therapy. It is a blessing that we have access the way we do now to so many, you know, different forms of therapy. But we're talking about art therapy today. So that's what we're going to be doing. One of the things that I love about painting, or specifically acrylic pouring and fluid art, is it is almost like you're turning this little chaotic mess into something beautiful, which really reminds me of the healing journey and how it feels when you're on your, you know, your journey of healing. Like you're going through all this chaos and life just feels like a whirlwind, you're overwhelmed, and then slowly but surely over time, if you're being intentional with your healing, you will start to notice that you are progressing, and you can look back on maybe some past situations or past versions of yourself, and you can clearly see that you have grown and you are becoming, you know, a more evolved, more lovely version of yourself, which is the goal. And I'm telling you that painting has helped me so much in reference to that. Like, it's not even funny. And I am so grateful. Around the time that I started getting into my creative journey was around about the same time that I realized that I needed to do some much needed healing. And thankfully it came at the time that I started tapping into my creativity, which I think it just totally excelled or amplified my ability to heal, because I've had a way to channel out so many different feelings and emotions. And oh my goodness, I'm telling you, if I didn't have my painting, I don't know where I would be. I'm sure I would still be doing okay, but it has been one of the biggest blessings in my life. And so that's why I want to share these things with you, so you can find your creative outlet and you can get progressing on your healing journey too. When I first started on my creative healing journey, I had no idea what I was doing. And so I would get little canvas panels and I would doodle patterns with a pencil. So they had no color on them. Like, I know most people would be like, oh, you went in with a vision. I'm like, no, I didn't. I was really depressed at the time, and so I just would get these cheap little canvas panels, and I would, like I said, I would doodle patterns. So draw lines and circles and whatever I felt like doing, and then I would go in with watercolors. These are actually watercolors, which I know they don't really look like it, but they are. And I would just fill them in, and then I would go with the flow. Just, you know, however it made sense to me to do, then that's what I would do. And then it slowly turned into acrylic pouring. I think during the time that I was doing these, I had been watching a lot of videos of other artists acrylic pouring, and it looked like so much fun. So I ended up going and getting my own supplies to do it. And the first one, actually, this was my first acrylic pour painting ever. I remember I did it on my bedroom floor. I cut open a trash bag so I would have a little like a barrier between the floor and my paints, and I hand mixed some paints. I had no clue. I mean, I had a little bit of a clue just because I watched other people doing it, but I really didn't know what I was doing. And I remember I did this one and one other one, and even though I know that I have progressed a lot since this, I was so excited and proud of myself for creating this, and it opened up so many doors for me, and I am so thankful for that. What I would recommend if you're wanting to start doing acrylic pouring too, or anything, you know, whatever sounds fun, I think you should, once again, click the link down below and get my free coloring sheets. And I have also, I forgot to mention, added in some journaling prompts in there too. So you have, there's 5 coloring sheets and 5 journaling prompts. They're titled. So the whole idea is to, as you're coloring, or if you want to fill out the journal prompt before you color, that's great too. But they go hand in hand. So you get to open up that creativity by coloring, but you also it'll help push you along your healing journey by answering some of these questions, you know? And do them in whatever order you want. But yeah, click the link down below to get that. But what I would recommend is going and getting some coloring pencils, or if you like coloring like that, you know, obviously if you're going to be doing my coloring sheets, I would say to use colored pencils, because there are some smaller spots to be easier than using crayons or something, but use whatever medium you want. If you want to do something kind of like this was really fun for me, and it's actually very easy. You can go get an affordable watercolor set from the store or off Amazon if you want. I can link something below. And if you're a doodler like I am, then yeah, just seriously doodle whatever random patterns you want and then color them in with the paints or with pencils, you know, whatever floats your boat. But this was a very easy way for me to be creative without needing to spend a ton of money in the beginning. If you're wanting to do acrylic pouring, I'll also link some supplies down below. You don't need to break your bank to get started. You can get pre-mixed paints, which is exactly what I did when I started. And yeah, just go get some pre-mixed paints, some canvases, and that's it, you're done. Easy peasy. What I love about fluid painting, or just art in general, like I've already mentioned, it is such a great way to get your emotions out of your body and onto a canvas or a piece of paper or whatever it is that you're doing. And man, I'm telling you, I can tell with some of my paintings what moods I was in. Like, I went through a phase where I did a lot of black. Obviously I had colors in there too, but it was a lot of dark a lot of dark energy, but that's how I was feeling. And they're some of my favorite paintings. Yeah, they may be a little bit darker, but sometimes in life we feel a little bit darker, and that's okay. And you need to get that out of you. And sometimes I might have been feeling a little bit more moody, so I've got like some oranges and reds and, you know, maybe those kind of colors. Or maybe I'm feeling a little sad and maybe a little more in my feels. Maybe not like a negative, like dark, you know, like the blacks and stuff, but I did a lot of blues. I love blue. It's one of my favorite colors. Reminds me of the water. So I've noticed, yeah, I have a lot of blues, and I think that when I did those, if I reflect back on when I painted them, they were some of my sadder times, maybe less angry, but just sad. And so yeah, now we're going to do a little mini painting process. So let's go do that. say to do before, if you're going to be painting or whatever it is you're going to be doing, please go in with an open mind and an open heart, okay? This is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be therapeutic. Do not beat yourself up if you mess up or it doesn't come out the way you wanted. It's okay. This is not meant to be perfect. Nothing, first off, nothing is perfect in life. We are not perfect. Our art will never be perfect. It is an unrealistic expectation to expect that, and so it can make you feel a lot lighter if you just try to release that perfectionism. And trust me, I get it. I have it too, and it has been something that I've been working on for several years now, and I have gotten a lot better. And honestly, my art has helped me, because you have no idea how many times I have painted something and it turned out like crap. And that's all right. But in the beginning, I got frustrated and it ruined my experience, you know, a little bit, which it did help me work through that problem, but it ruined some of my experiences and it deterred me from wanting to paint. I would go through periods of time where I wouldn't paint because I got frustrated because I messed up a couple paintings, and instead of just continuing trying, because that's how you get better, is also by practicing and experimenting and doing new things. And instead of looking at it from a fun or through a fun lens or perspective, I was getting frustrated with myself and it did not benefit me. And it is what it is. Like, I had those moments and maybe I needed to take a break and go do my own thing in another way, but I don't do that anymore. If I'm feeling frustrated or whatever, like sometimes, here's one thing I love about acrylic pouring is you can literally just scrape it right off the canvas and pour on it again. And I have done that. So, like I said, just be kind and compassionate with yourself. It's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be stressful. So if you find yourself getting stressed, do some deep breathing, in through the nose, out through the mouth. I love box breathing, where you inhale. Say you do a 4-count inhale, you hold it for 4 counts, you breathe out for 4 counts, and then you hold it again for 4 counts. And honestly, I do that as many times. If you're feeling dysregulated or ticked off or whatever feeling you're having, recognize that feeling. Maybe write it down and journal about it if that you feel called to do that, but do some breathing techniques. Like, breathing it sounds silly because it's something we just naturally do, but a lot of times, especially when you're feeling anxious, you don't even realize, like, your muscles are all tensed up, you're like holding your breath, you're not even really breathing regularly. So when you do that regulated breathing technique, it brings you first off out of your mind and back into your body, which is where you need to be. You need to be in your body, not in your mind. So when you go into this, sometimes what I like to do before I start painting is set like an intention, a positive intention, or say some good affirmations to yourself. Maybe like tell yourself, like, I am creative. I am creative. I am going to enjoy this process. I'm going to have fun. And I'm going to make something beautiful. Even if it's not perfect, it is still beautiful because I created it. And whatever feels right for you to say. But I do like to go in with a fresh mind and positive intentions before I start painting. Do some deep breathing and get going. And maybe if you're like me and you like to, like I said, I didn't even realize I was doing it, but if you want to, it would be a fun way to maybe pair colors with how you're feeling. So if you're feeling like how I was, maybe you're a little sad, you're feeling blue, you want to do like a blue palette. If you're feeling a little bit more negative and in a darker, denser state, maybe you want to do, instead of a white background, you want to do a black background. And then you want to put some funky colors or whatever on there. Reds, maybe if you're feeling, we already know, a little angry, which is okay, but reds and oranges, maybe still throw a little bit of black in there. You know, make it fun. Make it fun, guys. It's supposed to be fun. So yeah, guys, that's my video for the day. And like I said, click the link down below, get my coloring sheets with the journaling pages, and get started on your journey. You know, get started on that creative journey, on your healing journey. And if you could do a 2-in-1, you know, why not? I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. If you have any questions, comment down below. And yeah, I'll see you soon, guys. Much love.